Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Elder Titan.
Escape Gaming's turn to pick.
Ogre Magi!
Escape Gaming's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What a heck of a way to start our day here for our first game between Escape as well as Fantastic.Five from Betway WCA European Qualifiers. That was a heck of a game, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how else to describe it, but fun to watch, fun to cast, fun to be around. 61 minutes in, and Escape will take the first game as we jump into draft number 2. Today, I am joined by none other than Purge. Purge, did you get a chance to watch that first game at all?
I caught parts of it, yes. I realized about halfway through, hey, maybe I should be watching this game considering that I showed up late and it started already. I'm supposed to be an expert, so here I am being an expert. Caught about 45 seconds of a team fight, though.
I mean, listen,
pretty cool.
You're coming off your Weatherman debut, so it's,
Yeah, dude,
you gotta
I'm
get
too-
into the
I'm
rhythm
too-
of casting.
I was gonna say something else. I was gonna be like, yeah, man, I'm too good for this shit or something. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm absolutely not. I'm pretty excited for the game, though. I haven't seen that much of Fantastic.Five, but looking at their roster now, it's like a weird collaboration of like a bunch of different players from different regions, or at least by saying that RMN is a German player. He was at the Red Bull land that we went to this one time, where they had like 10 personalities and pros, and
10 seconds remaining.
RMN was there with these local German teams, and like the 2 German teams over there were both like teams of like 7 and 7.5k players. But I was watching him play games and he was really, really good. I thought he was very efficient in the early game as a support, and I saw that he was in the game in the previous one. So I'm pretty excited to see him perform and see how Fantastic.Five do. But obviously we know a lot about Escape already, and it's cool to see that they've stuck together.
Yeah, Escape, I'm glad to see that they're sticking with this roster for now, and it seems like Cinderin had talked with him at the after party, and he seemed to be on that train, at least for right now anyways. Obviously we'll see if he changes his mind or the rest of the squad changed their mind. But yeah, going back to RMN, great point that you made. He's obviously a player that's been around the block, and he's shown plenty of people what he can do, but it's just he hasn't had that big main stage opportunity, not yet anyways. But we'll wait to talk more about him as we jump into this game. I do want to let you guys know that, of course, you can head over to www.betway.com. And of course, if you check that out, you can get every new customer that uses the banner, which is below, to sign up will receive a free €5 bet. Of course, whenever you do use Betway, we must explain that it's a fully licensed and real money betting service. And not only that, players must be 18 years of age and older, and also be located within a country in which betting is legal for you guys to play. So with that said, we'll now, of course, talk about the draft here a little bit, Purge. I mean, we saw Drow last game. Marana was picked as well, but not picked this game so far. I think we had talked about Marana a fair bit, I think, during the What the Duck we did earlier this week, and you were explaining, I think Marana's still pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, she's still good. She can still clear creep waves really rapidly. She's just limited in the fact that she can't do as much solo damage, basically. So it's still possible to play her, but she's not as valued as she was in the past, and I think over time people are going to figure that out a little bit more. It's just not as good for solo killing.
So what do you feel about both drafts now moving into the second phase?
I still love Elder Titan, very strong hero. He did get a nerf, but it was only to early game Echo Stomp damage, and people max that skill out first anyway, so it was kind of a useless nerf in a lot of ways. Ogre Magi is on the up and up lately. Sand King's still really good because he gives you great 1v1s and good team fight. I think there's a lot of good opportunities for both teams. Escape has better early game by far right now, but there's still some good things that Elder Titan does in the early game, and that'll transition into Batrider getting lassos mid and So it's looking alright right now, but Escape's early game looks real.
I'm not sold on Batrider, especially first two. Maybe they thought with the Sand King and Ogre that might be the support duo, but there's still Avenge available. There is no Oracle. They did take that out of the pool at the very least, so there's not many options for Escape to go if they decide to send the Sand King and the offlane, which seems to be likely. And then Fantastic.Five have another pick themselves. So, yeah, I mean, do you think Venge is likely for Escape here, or is there going to be another choice that they make for their support duo?
I mean, Venge is not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's basically your best option. Oracle's obviously gone, so I think possibility, but I think they'd be a little bit weak on ability at that point, and it might also be better to go some Greer for personally, because with Ogre Magi in the game and Bloodlust, I feel like you could in some ways justify a 4 that will scale harder. But we'll see what they do. They may not. It's more dependent on what the next 5 are. I have a feeling they will hold off on the pick for now, but at least on their core, like their hero. Maybe even something like an SD would be really good. SD with Jug is actually not bad at all.
Yeah.
Possibility here. Although SD's not amazing against bat, because if you disrupt somebody, they still get pulled through the lasso. I kind of like that idea, but
well, we'll wait and see. I was thinking about other minor counters too. It's not like, Venge is the only option. I mean, you can go Disruptor, and you talked about Shadow Demon as well, which I was going to touch on. But you're right. With Bloodlust, you'd like to have something that scales a bit better. With a Mirana pickup now, well, that's we don't know. Obviously, the Mirana probably mid in the situation. It could theoretically be a support, but I doubt that very much.
I really think they're justified in picking Shadow Demon now for their last support. Sand King off lane, SD Ogre, roaming support very strong early, and if the Shadow Demon gets a disrupt on mid, then you can obviously land an arrow very easily, and Bloodlust should help their core scale a bit better later. So, and they're very magic nuke heavy right now. They should definitely buy a Veil on somebody. I'm not sure who it'll be Sand King after Blink Dagger, but they need a Veil. If they've got an Ogre, a Sand King, and Mirana, who's obviously go Ags, picking up your magic damage is really important.
I mean, yeah, also with the Null Talismans, definitely not a bad purchase for any of these heroes, although you'd like to have it potentially on an indie hero for that extra damage coming out. So double Null Tally will be the choice. Fantastic.Five will grab the Bane for themselves. They have a bit of lockdown. Something to get, the Jug through the Blade Fury, the Mirana who can leap away, give her a Nightmare, followed up by Fiend's Grip. And Sand King will be able to jump on top of this Bane as well as the Ogre with, you get a couple of stuns. This Bane will be dead meat. Not only that, but they take the Bane away from Escape Gaming if they wanted to go for said hero as their second support. We've talked a lot about what Escape can go for supports, but do you feel like this is more of a counter pick, or do you feel like this is something that Fantastic.Five just wanted for themselves?
I think it's partially reactionary, and the main point is that you can Nightmare defensively, and it gives you like 1 second of essentially. It's not a super long duration, but if you use it at the right time, it can be used in a very similar way as Shadow Demon. And it kind of relies on you using it at the right times, really, because it makes you invulnerable for that 1 second. It's difficult when you have to deal with like burrow strikes or arrow follow-ups or things like that, but it can be a good solution if you're worried about your opponents doing arrow setups. Yeah.
We'll wait and see if that's going to be the case. I imagine that Escape will try to find some arrows in the early stages of this game. With 30 seconds left on reserve time now, they'll think about their last bans as we move through the last phase of the draft for this point in time. And remember, again, that Escape is up 1-0 at this point, so Fantastic.Five have to find a way to climb their way back into the driver's seat of the series and even it up one apiece. They lose this, they're not done yet, but they have to play an immediate series, essentially, right after this against Empire. Not an easy task either, I think, for this squad. But, well, we'll see what their last picks are going to be here, Purge, as we move in to this last phase of the draft.
Fantastic.Five is looking for their carry right now. It's got to be Juggernaut, it's got to be good against Magic Heroes, so probably BKB related, I think would be wise. That was not what I was going to guess.
Not what I was expecting. That certainly is a hero.
It's pretty interesting that they would go with Centaur. It's arguably better as a carry this game because they have Elder Titans, so that means his magic nukes are going to scale pretty well. And with the Elder Titan passive, even his return damage is going to be quite good, reflecting on everybody. So
that's very true. Wow. Did not think about that. Is Loda in the game? This feels like something Loda would do. Or Wings, for that matter.
It doesn't have longevity is the weird part. I guess it offsets a lot of the 1v1 potential. That it would have. If like Sand King versus any melee carry, for example, is going to be a tough time for the melee hero, but Centaur is a lot better at laning, so he has the possibility of outplaying. That said though, there's just so many nukes, but I think if Centaur gets like a really fast blink pipe, I think it'll be really strong for Fantastic.Five, but I just don't know if they're gonna have the same longevity as Escape this game.
I don't know how you feel about this Nyx pick, but I think I love it. I think I'm a real big fan of this pick.
It's really good, actually. Good against Bat Rider, because you can just use Carapace to stun him, and then follow-ups disable. It's a little iffy versus Bane sometimes, but it's great against Invoker, pretty good against Elder Titan too. There's a lot of good things about the Nyx pick.
The Absol's playing the Sand King. This is going to be a Kezu Nyx assassin, potentially. Well, we really don't know who's going offlane and how they're going to lay this up, but Fantastic.Five are showing their hand immediately. They don't have a damn. They don't give a damn about really what Escape's doing with their trickery at this point, but maybe there's a reconnect happening. No, everything seems to be in order. I don't know.
Could swap Yapsor as well.
Yeah.
There's a chance. You never know. Like, he plays Mirana super well as a 4 position. He's one of the best in the world at it, in my opinion. I could just swap last second and trick
that is high praise, by the way. That is very high praise for someone.
He's really good at 4 position Mirana. Like,
I don't
he
disagree
consistently has like top 2 farm on his team almost. If his team didn't farm so damn fast.
I do not disagree with you. He's still in the Sand King for now. We'll see if they decide to switch things up. They're taking more time to decide about it. I'm pretty sure.
I had this crazy bug.
That.
So I was spectating in Dota TV this game right before I joined. And then I exited the game, and now I'm in this game, but I'm only getting your mouse movements.
You're only getting my mouse movements? You're actually watching my mouse and my camera?
You're going between the Dire Fountain and the Radiant Fountain, right?
People have been trying to figure this out for ages. Like, we actually want that to be a thing. Like, that's the thing we want.
I think I figured out a way to bug it in. Although I had to be spectating the game in Dota TV, close it to join the lobby. And my previous settings were observing and listening to mods, so now I can do that, I think.
Maybe you should... Well, first of all, I know you want to look at your own camera, so you should probably...
I don't know, man. This is
reconnect.
Pretty nice. I'm already not wearing pants. I can just, like, sit back and talk while you do all the work. It's pretty easy, man.
Now I've got extra stress on me. Why did you click on that kill or something?
I'm going to reconnect.
That's what I thought. Listen, when players or, analysts want their own camera, you got to give them their own camera. I was not anticipating Purge to be using my camera. My camera looks nice from time to time. I'm known for good camera movements, but
it's a little jumpy right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, I'll keep it on the
all right, I might actually be screwed.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't click on the camera button in the lobby. I'm assuming you didn't do that.
I didn't. I don't think I can control my camera this game.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Dude, don't worry. I got hotkeys.
You know what you got to do? Message
like,
JJ.
This is like that thing where we go to like new lands, and every time the land's like, look, you're only going to be casting from the observer.
The one observer PC they have.
They're like, we refuse to let you use anything but the observer PC, and I'm like, do you want me to do my job well?
All 95% of lands, I feel like.
Plus, this way, if you suck at Obzane, dude, I can just instantly tell you to stop sucking at Obzane.
Oh, great! I love the pressure that you're putting on me right now. I'm not.
No, honestly, it's fine.
Or anything.
I can see items with F5 and other stuff, so.
At least you got that going for you. By the way, they did swap the Sand King to Kezu, and I believe they gave Yapsor the Nyx Assassin, as I had previously thought they would.
30 seconds.
So Yapsor support.
So wasn't that what they were picking in the draft screen though? As they are currently, they didn't actually.
No,
swap.
Yapsor was picked up. Yapsor had picked up the Sand King. Now Kezu has it.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, for some reason, I thought he would go back to Mirana. That's why I got confused.
No, we'll wait and see. By the way, BZ's picked up Exhort already. He did Sunstrike the well, the fountain, but there's a little bit of contention at this bottom maroon spot. It looks like Kezu's looking for a Grower Strike. They'll find one on Illidan. They have no stomp. They've dropped the Astral down. That's a good blade here. That might be first blood, and it will be. And they might even look for more. They're getting Arrow low. Sunstrike dodged niftily by Arrow. Nicely done. They're still on the hunt, though. Grower Strike's up and ready to go, and they're going to find the Invoker. BZZ's been caught. There's the Impale on top of it. Fairy Fire, not enough. Synderen finds himself a double kill. Kezu will end up falling, but they will find Armin. This is a bloodbath. Can they bring him down? They don't have the mana. And he's not going to deny himself. He wants to kill Synderen with 5 stacks. Should end up falling. Can he get the kill? The Ignite. He will go down to Roshan. A 2-for-2 exchange. Blood everywhere in the river. I mean, it's just brutal. What happened?
All I want to say is, Mott, great camera work there. It was pretty solid.
Thank you. I needed that. You got my confidence boosted
heavily.
You
gotta click on more heroes, though. I can't click on heroes either, actually.
All right. I will, I'll do my best with that.
I don't even honestly know if I can... I'm not sure if I'm. It looks like sometimes I can click on heroes. I will
Yeah, you
figure this
have
out.
like you definitely have the bug of like when you hit the camera thing in game or in the lobby.
really?
Yeah, like you won't be able to click on anything, but we've never had it work where you can like actually use my camera, which is kind of cool, but also not really what we wanted. So
I can like kind of click on heroes, but not really. It'll be interesting.
if you haven't messaged JJ, I would do so now. By the way, out of curiosity. And
I refuse.
all right,
Okay,
well,
so they're aggro dual laning. It's a Sand King with an Ogre. Normally, Sand King isn't picked as an offlane hero because he can't get very much out of his lane, just because he can't zone heroes very well. He's melee. He's not super good at jungling at level 1. So if they put Ogre there in the lane, then it should go better. But the problem is that because all those deaths happened, F5 has a lot more advantage from the level 1 period of the game. Like Bane, for example, already has boots. That might have been as a result of him purchasing it before the lane even started, but both of their supports actually have boots. That's hard to play against if that many kills happen.
and the boots is going to help him out a lot, being able to find nightmare setups and just in general be a nuisance with brain sap and his right click and running around. This is going to be a free lane for escape, however, from the top lane. Quite cool. Will get free farm yet again, as we saw last game. Always would have fly. He's going to be starting off with the jungle. He's got boots now. He's an Iron Talon jungling hero. That's going to be a denied haste rune. Yo was looking for an impale and might have found it. But now it looks like Yo's going to get chased down. Still with no Ignite left today, and it's down for 8 seconds. Not to mention he has no mana for it. Near the end of the chase is... We should talk about the era safe lane. Maybe dead Juggernaut here. Sunstrike's going to come out. Blade Fury's there, but... Can he get Yo at least? Did the answer to that question is no. Now Syndren's getting brain sapped. No cold snap. They do have it ready, but I don't think he had the mana to cast it as he invokes Ice Wall
Dude.
instead.
That is such a cool little gank. Like just Nightmare into Sunstrike into Brain Sap. That's 2 sources of pure damage. It kills like anybody. The only thing that could have made that better is if you Brain Sapped before Nightmare ended. And then that way the Brain Sap would go through and then Sunstrike goes through Magic Immunity, which Brain Sap does not. So, but that was a really cool way to execute a gank. I've never even thought about Bane Invoker before. But it works great.
He just runs up and he nightmares him. That's the, again...
Yeah, that's it. It just sets it up so easy.
You talked about it. The boots coming out early, I think, was the big issue there for escape in that position. And usually the Juggernaut is fine, but because of exactly what you talked about, Blade Fury it's not going to help you, you know, Sunstrike going, piercing that magic community. Stomp down bottom, Kezu's in trouble. He's going to actually not have enough mana to use the Stomp, unfortunately. It was very close to the clarity was coming through. If they had the Stomp to follow that up with, it's probably a kill. But instead, Kezu will just sit under the tower and continue to farm. And now there's a Nightmare up, and the Absol might get caught. We'll see how much they can do to him. Arrow will connect and always want to fly nicely, but really, there's not much follow-up. They're looking for an Impale. They're thinking about it. No, Absol probably just should have left there, I think.
Well, okay, get Lance's stun at least. Will Starstorm be enough?
Brain Sap does get the kill, and Starstorm is not enough to answer your question.
That was interesting. I actually felt like F5 had set up themselves getting arrowed there, but you know, it's, again, melee heroes against bad is hard.
All right, here we go. Kezu with no stun available. Sandstorm up, but Double Edge will finish him off. And now Illidan. Him and Astral coming through Cinder, not enough mana, and the Stomp not even being charged up. They don't have enough mana for it. Or, well, mana for the other Stomp either. It's going to be kind of confusing to differentiate between the two, but still, this is a pretty aggressive little lane. It's quick, but finally will bring down the Bat Rider. So at least they get one kill on the board.
I would have caught that kill, but you also missed it, Mont, so I'm kind of forced to only look at here.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me. This is going to happen throughout the game. You're going to express things, and I'm going to be like, I understand. You do not have to explain further. But I'll try to look as much as I can. Yol, by the way, is probably dead to the SK here. Oh, the Nightmare! Oh my god, are you kidding?
That's like the third kill, dude. There's so many neutral kills in this game. That was such a sick Nightmare, though.
Era does find the kill with the double damage Blade Fury, and so he does get the kill on the Invoker and gets back into the game with it. Solo kill, by the way, which is pretty
he didn't get Omni Slash out? Are you kidding me?
No, he just had a DD and Blade Fury.
Oh,
a DD and a dream, I will call it, Purge. That's what
figured out a reliable way to click on heroes. I have to use the images on the top of the screen.
Oh, how long does it last?
It works.
If I like click on a hero, does it change it for you?
No, I think it stays. Yeah, it stays for me. Good.
Thank God. All right, that's huge. That's huge.
It is. So the big thing for Bane here is really just the amount of movement speed he gets. He's already a relatively fast hero. He's somewhere around 300, but when you get Windlace and Boots of Speed, and you can always have like regen uptime with Brain Sap, you become a huge threat on the map. So just little items like these are very valued right now in the game of Dota 2, just because of movement speed giving you so much advantages over your opponent. So I really, it's something I'm really enjoying lately, playing support, just buying a Windlace all the time and just being faster than people.
Oh,
There's so many opportunities like this.
you are dead, potentially. Good spike carapace, but that's the Stampede coming in as well. And Yapsor, great impale on it 3. Arrow comes through as well, but the stomp is there, and it brings him down. It's the double stomp as you see the Starstorm coming in. Always want to fly low and will fall to the last right click. The Burrow Strike, they'll find Yul as well. This should be a kill. Maybe another neutral. Another neutral kill? Not so lucky this time. Quick will find himself a double. Great turnaround in Yapsor. That's a well worth the trade for him.
He bought so much time. It was really nicely done there. He's going to now get experience on the bot lane, so he's more than happy right now. Once he hits 6, he's pretty much set as a support. He'd obviously love to have Arcane Boots 12. Those are the 2 things you really ever need as a Nyx. Start consistently getting what he needs out of the game and giving kills to his cores.
Illidan now with a Vanguard purchased up, so a meaty, tanky frontliner indeed. Herald bladed through the creep wave. He has his Omni Slash at the ready. There was other heroes rotating in towards mid. I thought the Bane or the Elder Titan were going to come over. By the way, dewarding this Cliff Ward, I believe, and bringing it down, which is nice. But I feel like this is still a pretty good start for Escape, all things considered. Even with Era dying early on, he's able to get the solo kill, which actually puts him 5,000 net worth ahead of the Invoker, and still pretty close. A couple of dewards coming out, but still a very solid start for Escape, I think, here, Kevin.
Yeah, it's not bad by any means. I'm slightly concerned about the Centaur and what he can do, but I think at some point that should scale off. It also excites me, like, what is Centaur going to do that's different? How are they justifying this?
Well, he's getting ganked now, and it's not that different. Well, he might be able to survive. He has no Stampede mana. If he actually sticks up, he will, however.
Well,
not
look at
quite
his
in
skill build,
danger.
though. That's the special thing that he's doing here. He's 1, 2, and 3, so he actually is prioritizing return heavily here. Which is interesting because with Vanguard, obviously, you take less damage and then you can reflect physical back. So arguably, if he takes a lot of right clicks in a fight, he could justify his damage output as a carry. But we'll see if it actually works out like that. I mean, this many skill points in return is arguably bad, but one really good thing about it is that it will accelerate his farming. Just by jungling, for example, he's going to be able to kill creeps really rapidly, or the creeps will kill themselves or something.
Yeah, that's going to be nice. And that'll help him get to his Blink Dagger, at the very least, but Invoker also needs to spend some time farming up and getting his Midas. He's close, 500 gold away, but down bottom, it looks like Yapsor is being a funny guy, canceling his attack animation with his Impale, but there are heroes nearby, so there's a reason for it. And Illidan does see one of them, but now he'll see the second. Stampede actually loses the mana after the mana burn comes out. He does have it now with the stick charge coming through. The stomps just hit Yapsor. Sunstrike, look at that slow, the Nightmare as well, and boom, it blows him up. The Brain Sap's still alive, though, through all of that damage. In fact, he'll be able to make it out, it looks like, somehow.
A mostly well-executed gank, but they're low on mana there. They didn't have enough for a Fire Blast on Ogre Magi, which is why that didn't really work out. It would have been hard to kill either way. Actually, you know, if they could have kept him solo, they would have definitely killed him with Omni, but too many creeps. You know, I was just looking at the Centaur numbers for return, and he does 22 reflected automatically, and 75% of his strength, which right now is going to be like 35 damage. So basically, every time he gets right-clicked, he'll do 50 physical damage back to his opponent. That's before reduction. It's not bad, really.
Yeah. And it's gonna get worse as the game progresses for Escape Gaming too, as he builds into either more strength items or just gets tankier, I guess too. It's gonna be kind of scary and sketchy.
It's up like an AC or something like that. And again, they have Elder Titan to reduce base armor from everybody, which is super effective against Ogre, for example, who almost never builds armor because his base armor is so high. Even like Juggernaut, who's an agility hero and usually buys a lot of agi items, all of his base agility is going to go away. This could end up being really cool. From a Theorycraft perspective, I love what they're doing, but I am not sure yet if it's going to work.
The inner nerd sweat is coming out from...
It really is, dude.
From you and as well as, I think, this Fantastic.Five team. It's fun to watch, like, and fun to think about, but really in practice, we'll have to see if it actually is successful. I mean, right now, they're not far behind. They're going to get a tier 1 tower in this bottom lane, and it's going to be picked up by Illidan as he moves through and gets a... I guess this is a hood.
Yeah, it has to be a hood. And it's the most hood game ever. Pretty funny to say. If I knew anything more about rap music, I would have made a rap joke right there, but...
oh, God.
But with both Hood and Vanguard, he's very survivable now. He's going to be able to reflect a lot of return and escape almost all magic damage.
Arrow against Sunstruck as well as lasted up and might even fall. Stampede is up. They really want the skill. The Blade Fury, they need a sticky. The Healing Word, Flame Break is still alive. Arrow's going to make it through, but no. The last right click comes in, and Qualifier now with little mana. Arrow will come in. The Impale is perfectly timed from Yapzor. Now mana gone for Always Wanna Fly. They have the Burrow Strike. They're stuck in the tree line. I don't know who said that, but now Qualifier, their Moonlight Shadow, they're ready to go again. Yol getting chased down. Earthsplit is coming through to try to divide the fight up. Now they have the Brain Snap rather than the Fiend's Grip, but it gets canceled immediately by Kezu. Now the Cold Snap comes out, and they will at least turn one. At least get a couple of kills. They did, in fact, have that Sunstrike killing the Juggernaut, and of course, the right click there. So it's actually a 2-for-1 trade, all things considered, which is not bad for Fantastic.Five. As Illidan comes through, and the double ignite coming out, but that should be the end of it as they push the tier 1 tower mid, Purge.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the value of Centaur. The extra movement speed allows you to get kills like that you normally wouldn't be able to snag.
And they're looking for a stomp.
He doesn't even have Blink Dagger on bat, by the way, so...
They went for the drum build.
Has fallen.
I mean,
Yeah,
the Iron Talon build.
sure. We'll go with
They're
that.
actually important here. Come on, dude.
I mean,
Push it
Iron
straight.
Talon is,
Radiant's bottom tower
it's a pretty
has
good
fallen.
item, so much so that, you know, people have named things after it. Like, perhaps a WoW guild might be named after
Oh,
Iron
really?
Talon.
Is that true? Oh, I didn't...
It is, because I made it, so, yeah.
Okay. Oh, sick, dude. Nice joke. I'm actually not even one of the people that hates on Iron Talon. I actually think it's good game design in some ways. Maybe there's too many heroes that can farm super efficiently. It definitely opens the game with more possibilities.
By the way,
sometimes.
it's true. It's not a joke. BCC will get
No, I believe
destroyed
you.
by Vendetta.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe you, Mott.
Okay, good. Burrow Strike mid, but the Lasso comes out at the same time onto Arrow. There's going to be Illidan, who's so tanky. Epicenter and everything thrown at him. He's barely below 75% HP. What a great stomp, not to mention they found another kill onto Yapzor in the meantime. And Kensu will be next. The Firefly comes through. Damn, Always Wanna Fly as fast. And Kensu will stick up. Nice use of the Sandstorm there, but he's still going to get caught by a Sentry. And with, well, his Blink Dagger on it for 2 seconds, he will fall inevitably again. And right now, this is working out. Yeah, they lose the Invoker, but the Centaur proceeds to just not die in fights.
It's going to be a really long time until Centaur becomes easy to kill, honestly. Like, especially if he just goes Pipe right away. He's already picked up Treads, so his overall damage is better, and he gets more out of his mana pool if he wants to. But if he just goes Pipe right away, Escape is going to have to wait a long time until they're good against him. They actually just don't have very good heroes against it. Ogre has a lot of damage over time with Ignite, but he's not skilling Fire Blast up. He's going to be going Bloodlust, obviously. So it isn't until they start transitioning to actual physical damage items that this works. Like, even Ag's Potom does nothing, really, because Ag's Potom now only does 1 Starfall nuke, so he's only getting an extra 300 magic damage against Centaur. But because of him having a hood, who gives a shit about that? He's got 47% magic resistance. Does almost nothing.
Yeah, Illidan is pretty strong, and I'm sure this is even his final form when it comes to, as you said, magic damage in terms of how much he can mitigate. He's going to have a lot of that soon if he does go for that pipe, as you talked about. I mean, the hood is helpful enough, but the pipe on top of it, let's not even get started there, as the Yules is being picked up for the Invoker, but he's a little ways behind here at this point. Actually, not really.
I mean, I'm not really sure whether he I think it's more likely he goes Blink, maybe, but Pipe might just be smarter in terms of the early team fight, because that's 400 barrier damage for your whole team. And though I looked up how that worked the other day, by the way, it's kind of like damage block, like Stout Shield, so it doesn't, the damage isn't reduced and then applied to the barrier. The damage you throw is how much damage it blocks, and then whatever's left over will remain.
Gotcha. Kezu lasted it up, and again, looks like he's caught. This Blink Dagger's not helping him so far this game. He'll Burrow Strike away. Nurse Splitter was there to kill him anyways, but still will die nonetheless to the Firefly. The Apps stopped up. The Sunstrike will come through. The Brain Sap on top.
Yeah.
That is a lot of pure damage that instantly kills that bug. Squashes it, explodes it, whatever you want to say. He's dead in one way or another. And it just seems like Fantastic.Five really can do no wrong at this point, as now Natural Order is starting to be leveled up. I mean, first of all, it is 40% damage or base armor reduction, but now it gets even better with level 2. But down bottom, Era is going to have to TP away, as there's maybe some danger, but he has to go back home as the push commences in the mid lane, and a wraparound gate comes in.
Got it through it.
Fiend's Grip comes out. There's going to be the Sunstrike, and that is another kill going the way of Fantastic.Five. And the more I look at this game, Purge, the more I'm feeling like this is going to game 3.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Fantastic.Five right now. They're just pressuring everywhere on the map. Illidan is extremely survivable. If they get any disable anywhere, whether it's a Echo Stomp on the Elder Titan or Bane gets a Nightmare, there's just tons of damage fall up due to the Sunstrike. So it's like all of the extending heroes on F5 are difficult to kill for Escape due to it being a Centaur with a hood and who reflects tons of physical damage. And then they have all these great late game solutions against Escape, like natural order and initiations with Batrider. Like, it's looking really good for F5 right now.
God, every time you say hood, I think about rap music. Now, there's going to be an Omni/slash top lane, and Air will find himself a nice pickup on the Batrider. That probably shouldn't have happened, but with level 2 Omni/slash coming up, it's more than enough to provide him the kill. And
Where the hood at, Mott? Where the hood at, right?
there you go. That's exactly... Well, it wouldn't have helped him in that situation, but yes. Vendetta, Impale, more than likely coming out from BZZ. He's going to almost whip the Impale, jump in. Kezu's got the Burrow Strike, and they'll find the kill for Qualifier with his Aghanim Scepter. So they're able to pick off other heroes other than Illidan. That's the biggest thing, is if they don't have Stampede or if they don't have Illidan in their frontline tanking, then it's not as easy to survive some of these burst damages.
Yeah, and these are the kind of mistakes that would be made less and less as people play against Centaur more. But if you initiate on the tankiest hero on the enemy team, then yeah, this is what's going to happen.
By the way, he bought a
backline,
Reaver. He bought a Reaver this game, so...
Okay. So he's going to try to abuse stamp or return, basically.
Yeah.
So 25 more strength is about 500 HP. Although I think it's a little different now because of the strength chain. But this gives him an extra 12.5 damage reflected every time he's right-clicked. It's pretty strong.
He's getting up there. And
it's more than
12.5.
It's 75%. It used to be 50. It's like
all right, math time.
18.75, I'd guess. But I'm not sure.
So how much total is that, out of curiosity, if you have an understanding? I'm not sure you do.
I gotta open my calculator.
All right, then we're gonna just
Blue
keep
Jets,
casting. Qualifier and BZZ are playing behind WCA, I think, at this point, with Qualifier being the one that's seeking, although he's in Viz.
Sick, dude. I was right. 18.75.
Nice.
The Reaver. I'll get his total in 1 sec.
You know, it's almost like you're
100.
intelligent, and you know this game.
He literally has
or
101
something.
strength, so he's reflecting about 75 physical damage every time somebody right-clicks him.
That's kind of insane when
Yeah,
you think
it
about
is.
it, especially with what you talked about with Natural Order. Impale, Starstorm, Arrow, later, you're dead. But now can they get out cleanly? The answer to that question for the Mirana is just barely, and the answer to the question for Yapsor is probably. So
Even if he doesn't, it's so good. Like they're getting so much value about an invisible Nyx assassin right now. Look how fast he farms. It's like he has like an ultra radiance on Centaur. He just stands there and shit dies. Look at these things.
yeah, that's kind of nuts. They do
It's
have to be
actually faster
attacking
than
him, but that's the one. That's the one thing, is that he has to be attacking them. But for the most part, that's kind of what happens with Radiance, anyways. Usually, people with Radiance are getting attacked.
I'm very curious how he's going to transition this. I wonder if he's just going to stack Reavers, honestly. It might be better than buying a heart. Maybe he buys one heart, one Reaver.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You buy one heart because you need the actual regen that comes with the heart is pretty nice, like later on down the road. But the Reavers on top of that, I wouldn't be surprised if he does said
I
build.
just really feel like he should finish this pipe. There's no reason not to. It gives him and his allies a 10% magic resistance aura. That's amazing.
Well,
the barrier block to his allies is great. It would limit his damage a little, but is that really important? At some point, his opponents aren't going to attack him. Like, yeah, he increases his damage, his reflect damage by 18.75, but I feel like a barrier could be the way that his team survives an amazing epicenter combo or something.
I mean, he will definitely buy the pipe at some point. I would be surprised if I think he has it now. No, it's the heart. He's bought the full heart now. And the Alacrity is coming out. He actually does a significant amount of damage, up to 200, but the Burrow Strike comes through nicely from Kezu. No follow-up damage, however. And really, he didn't take much damage from the Burrow Strike either. It's really just keeping him in place. And the rest of the team's like, I don't want to kill him. I don't want to jump on him. Omni-Slash might be okay. Arrow will miss. It'll hit on that. I think Creep. They'll jump in. Starstorm will go. And the damage is minimal. It's just it's kind of crazy. Arrow does deny the tier 3 tower like you were talking about. But
this is what they're trying to do here. They're trying to do this like slow siege bullshit. it's very cheesy, but it's a cool strategy basically. Just exploiting the power of Vanguard into Hood, immediately get Heart, and as soon as they have this, it's almost impossible for Escape to take a. He sets far up. There's no way they can burn through 3,200 HP at 19 minutes when he's got a Hood on top of that, and his team just sits so far back that it's impossible for Escape to initiate.
Moonlight Shadow will come out. They have sentries, and they will have vision of Yapsor, or rather Kezu, as well as Mirana now. They'll jump in the lasso. They'll find Kezu. They will be able to Sunstrike him down. Meanwhile, on the front line, Zillidan's taking literally no damage. Stop will find Cinder. There's the double XP grip on air. This is a problem. Good Impale coming out, though. Oh, some great damage from Qualifier will bring down at least one. He'll leap himself away. Still 1-for-1 exchange. But everyone is low for Escape. They want to try to go for this, and it's again Illidan Fire Blast as the Omni-Slash coming through. Bounces to the Creep Wave, and immediately the Double Edge comes out. Does some significant damage to the Earth Splitter. Hill Manta, and barely survived the Sunstrike. Avoided. Nicely dodged by Era. That was close. And still, They are going to more than likely get the range racks out of this. And they will get the kill. The back end quickly comes in and finds another Starstorm. Stomp onto Yapsters, caught him nicely. Stomp, double edge, see you later.
God. That
That's
damage
Sentry.
is so high. Quakeva's been doing some amazing things here, but he's got to get out.
He's got leap, but no mana left for a Starstorm. Still on cooldown. He has to blink out and TP home.
Yeah, it's time to leave here.
They can't kill Illidan. I don't know if they're really ever going to be able to kill Illidan at this point.
Yeah, I honestly am not sure. I think the only way is if maybe they go Medallion or Veil. That's the only way. They have to amp the damage. If they had a Shadow Demon, it'd be fine too, because they could go like 4 points in Soul Catcher or something. But
oh, the arrow missed. He's like
don't have
alone
the
now.
damage.
He's completely alone. They have, however, found RMN. The Blade Fury will try to help get this kill. They're actually not going to get this. It's taking a long time. They will be able to bring him down. Now there's the Fire Blast to Burrow Strike. Suns were stacked a little bit. Double Edge onto Koifa. They might want to get him out of here. He's going to be able to leap away. The Impale comes through. The return damage is insane. Sunstrike. Koifa blinked out of it at the last second. Dead. I thought he was eviscerated as well. Now always want to fly, gonna find air. The epicenter is gonna come through. Is it enough? Illidan finally getting down below half health. He pops the hood and he just goes to work. Now the feed group on Cinderin. It just seems impossible.
They're gonna kill him.
There it is, the Dagon. Finally, they kill that freaking annoying Centaur. And are they done yet? The answer to that question is absolutely not. Yol brain sapping, Quakefa really on the hunt for this kill. Leap is up in 6. And then blink shortly thereafter. He's earned up, though. That's the biggest issue. Starstorm goes passively. He'll blink up in a moment and go for the kill, and there it is. Misses the arrow, but it doesn't matter. They've brought him down. The Giant is dead, Purge. They've slayed the Giant.
I mean,
I don't even know.
He's still really farmed, though. Like, they did lose the fight. Honestly, they should have had a pipe there. It looks like Elder Titan's going to build one instead, perhaps. A lot of them are building hoods, actually. But I wonder if they did have a pipe. I feel like they could have lived there. If he pops pipe, saves the Invoker, for example, everything kind of changes. But they eventually work them down, win a team fight, get kills, and now they're going to have some map control again. It all really came down to Quakefa hitting from the backline, though. Consistently doing nuke damage, getting them low, keeping them nuked down. There's the pipe being finished, finally. I think it's fine, the timing. Honestly, I think the heart strategy there was good in principle. It's just escape on the backline, outplay them slightly. Eventually did win a team fight.
I mean, approaching that team fight and looking at it again, like the Quakefa play there is really one of the only plays that will work in that situation. Just to attack them from the back lines and pick them off one by one. And that provided them so much more control. Eventually, the Centaur ran out of allies to save him. And so at some point, he was just on his own. And I don't care how tanky you are, but if you're, 1v4 or 1v5 and you're not going to survive in that instance.
That's how you beat any super tanky hero like this. His damage is mediocre, his survivability is insane. And so you just gotta wait until everybody else is dead, and then you can slowly kite around him, easily kill him. You're definitely right about that. I think this game maybe... Oh, let's see a solo kill here.
Yeah, Yapsor was trying to TP out in an interesting corner of the map, but... I don't believe he will be successful.
Look good.
No, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
They should fight mid right now, though. There's definitely... They should go on F5. They could 3v4.
It's still tough with a great stomp like that, but there's the Omni! They get the kill! They bring him down, and with him dead now, the frontline tank, Yol, he will at least bring down the Ogre Magi. Blink forward, Kezu, looking for that burrow, but he doesn't have an Aether Lens, and he's got no more mobility left to the tank. Now for a couple of seconds anyway, and always want to fly will, in fact, blink out in time. And Era and the crew will return to the mid lane and look for this tier 1 tower. Still, though, second time in a row that they bring down the Centaur. That's pretty rough. And they find always want to fly again with the arrow on top. Sunstrike will come through. It'll hit up on the Kazu. Won't be enough damage. They'll force him up and out. That'll be himself doing so as they get the tier 1 tower mid. And that's our couple of quick kills. And suddenly, Quakefa, by the way, is godlike in case anyone didn't notice.
He's actually owning this game really hard. Really nicely done there to get the Batrider kill. Centaur now showing more signs of weakness, and that there's a lot of levels of Omni slash up, and he only has 7 armor. For how much HP he has, armor is now easily the lacking point. You usually cover this just by being near creeps, so the Omni doesn't do as much, but if he's solo like that, he's got to be careful.
The Centaur, that's the 2 mistakes that he made that might actually lose him the game, because as you mentioned, it's great still, don't get me wrong, because now he's a Crimson Guard to help out. Yeah, but Era's going to get more items though. He already had his diffuser, which helped out a lot, I think, in that engagement, but still tough.
Yeah, I'm not completely sold on his item build this game, actually. The Manta Diffusal Blade. Against Elder Titan to go max stats is a little iffy, because all of the armor that he's getting from these 2 items are completely erased once the aura is in the area. That's minus 17 armor against Jug right now, so I would like to see him go more hybrid items, get something like an AC right now on Jug would be really smart, honestly. Although his HP still sucks, he kind of has to get HP still. So maybe he has to get something like Scotty, which is going to just further make his armor an issue, but might be an okay idea. Just Scotty and AC, I think.
We could at least help kite around the rest of F5 with his Scotty and Diffusal Blade combination, but...
he needs HP big time. I don't think he can... Okay, that works too. That's
I like
okay
that.
Option.
Smoke of Deceit will come out, and, well, because they're smoked up these set rewards, not going to matter. However, Fantastic.Five have positioned themselves, and I'll call it a fantastic area. Although the Dire Scan will be successful in revealing at least one of them. We'll see if Escape have the cojones to go for an aggressive play. Illidan is completely alone, and instead of going for the simple play, they will finally go for it. It took them a while, but they do get it done.
Damn.
Lasso is going to come out of the Synderen, however. While the Ogre's not that big of a pickup, it's still something. They still don't find it anyways. Blink in, and now BZZ is caught by 2 of the carries. He will Ghost Walk, and luckily that actually saves him. No detection there. They'll leap forward. Quick's going to come in. We'll find the Starstorm. The Nightmare is there, and it looks like the Stomp will be there as well. TP out from BZZ. They're on the chase. Quick was getting caught. Yeah, the Fiend's Grip and the Earth Splitter. I thought he might have survived there, but there was nobody in the vicinity for Escape to help out. Oh no, Arrow Blink to the trees, and the Manta doesn't help him either. Kezu has no Force Staff. Oh, the Burrow might have been successful had he not gotten pushed, although one way or another, I don't think he was going to hit that, but... Alright,
oh, man.
That's the Godlike streak that goes down to RMN.
That was easily worth it for F5 there. They Escape kind of really messed up their chase there. They went after a couple heroes. The cores went left to grab some solo kills, but Invoker went invis, and the supports were to the right, so they didn't have detection then. And then Koikva said, well, we need to get a kill here. We're winning this fight easily. He goes after the Bane and Elder Titan, but just with Fiend's Grip and the Earth Splitter and the Aura, he just gets blown up there, feeding gold over, so... Considering how that fight started, Escape should have absolutely whomped like 3 kills minimum, and they actually just traded 1 for 1. That was not good.
Yep. It's just a classic case of miscommunication, I think, for sure, in that position. They had detection on the rest of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I assume their supports had it. I can check.
They don't have it now.
You know, they had a sentry on Ogre right now. I assume they had one, but they just were spread out. They got spread out when everybody split on that
so you've been spotted by a Gem of True Set that has just been picked up, and the Yapster now knows it. He should anyways know that they're... Oh, Spike Carapace, Blink, the Impale. That was close. The Astral actually ended up killing him with the Bane right click, I believe, but it was almost nice, almost amazing.
It was amazing.
That at least shows that they know they have a gem up, or at least they should. Invoker is going to have hack soon, and Illidan continues to farm up to 1,200 gold.
I'm curious what he buys next. Does he get more armor now? Does he get a blade mail or something?
Dude, your guess is as good as mine, honestly. Listen.
Blade mail would be pretty good.
Don't you go Blink at some point, inevitably? I mean, like, maybe not. I guess you don't really need it.
I'm not sure if F5's plan was to continue to this point in the game. I think they expected to have a Rax a little earlier, and I expected that as well, to be honest. But yeah, it grabs a play mail. Gonna probably be Aether Lens or AC. AC would be good because it would make his return damage do a lot more.
You mean Lotus Orb, by the way?
I'm not sure if it'll be that. No, yeah, Lotus Orb. Yeah. God, I always mess that up.
Items were, I was freaking item names like crazy in the first game. That just shows the, like, I literally haven't cast in like 2 weeks, and I show that I'm rusty. Like, it's...
That's okay, Mott.
Kind of annoying.
You're all rusty.
Yeah.
That camera movements.
Hey, good joke, funny stuff. I'm sure that it's not that
Centaur
bad.
Gonna die.
Yes.
I
think
right
so, yeah. That's a great play from Yapzor.
And it's very tanky.
Oh my god, they actually have to Omnislash to kill him. And even then, oh my lord, is he actually gonna live? Oh, that Diffusal Blade is actually gonna kill him. Wow, that gave them so much time for all of them to rotate over, and they still weren't there.
I was sure that was like a 5v2 team fight, considering how long that took. But that was 5v1.
Anybody else could have gotten there. Meanwhile, Yul is dead. And that's probably a tower. Air picks up another kill. Blinks up in 1, by the way. They wanted more, but everyone's back at the base now. And so Escape will find themselves finally a team fight victory, if you want to call it that. And whatever mistakes they made in that top engagement have now been, I guess,
pretty much nullified.
vindicated.
Yeah. Centaur is becoming worthless, basically. Like, he's clearly very tanky, but
Radiant's middle tower
Alien pick up by Synderen here on Ogre Magi made a huge difference there. -7 armor against a hero that tanky means they do a massive amount of damage. So I really like that item pick up by Synd. It was very, very smart this game.
I mean, not to mention Solar Crest will come out from him as well if he can get some many. Well, he has plenty of farm.
Maybe.
He has
I
2,000
don't,
gold.
I don't know if it's worth it, honestly. 1,800 more gold, and they don't have that many right
think
clickers. Do you
he's
need the
going to
evasion?
buy
It's
it now.
only 3 extra minus
He's gonna
armor,
buy
you know?
it. Yeah, he bought it. Well, regardless
I don't
of
know.
how
I'm
much,
not
like,
completely sold on.
it's a lot of gold. I understand it's a lot of gold for what exactly are you getting now? It's really the evasion, I think, for putting it on your teammate. That's probably the most.
Okay, yeah, that part's good. That's a good point. You can do it for sieging. Offensively, though, I don't justify it. Defensively, it's great. But, I mean, it's kind of worth doing anyways, but...
If you just assume that the ogre could continue to farm and eventually get up another item anyways, then it's not that bad of a choice. But it's just a lot of gold, obviously, for the Talisman of Evasion, but...
Yeah, he
he's
could
fine with
almost.
it.
That's like almost enough money to buy a 4-staff, you know? Like, that's huge. Or he could almost get a Glimmer Cape instead. Just have Medallion plus Glimmer.
Mm-hmm.
By far better than having just Solar Crest in this situation. At least when using Medallion offensively.
They only have one 4-staff in this game, and I think against the squad, I think you would like to at least have
It's
2 or
a
3.
nitpick, honestly. I think Glimmer would be better, personally. Against Fiend's Grip, all the nukes they have, especially when all the minus magic resistance too. Oh, he gets spot on the backline now.
Wow, he blinked away. Yapster still doesn't have any more mobility, though. The force is already used. Good spike carapace. Burst Strike came in from somewhere. I think that was Kezu just trying to get towards his team. Don't know if they really want to fight this. Yapsor is dead. Kezu might have been spotted.
Yeah, I
He'll
think so, from
TP
the
out, though.
tornado.
Yeah, he won't be able to make it out, and so...
You know,
Yapsor again on the
that's not
receiving end.
terrible.
Yeah.
Like, look at the map right now. There's 2 heroes farming for escape here. Juggernaut was farming top lane, and I'm sorry, in the jungle, and Quakefoe was farming the top lane. So even though he did die and he's dead for 40, he still is creating some space doing this. And if he doesn't do that kind of a thing, they're not going to have as many opportunities to go in. I think it's still decent.
Well, he's dead for 26 is the problem. Cliff will come through. We saw this last game. Escape were able to defend with, like, one of the heroes dead for 20 seconds, although it was a Chronosphere, you know, a needed Chronosphere from a Faceless Void that they were waiting on for the respawn. This time it's really been dead and Impale, which is not bad. It's a Blink Impale, so...
Yeah. You know what's actually insane? I think Bloodlusting in the tower actually makes it die faster, because then he attacks Centaur rapidly. And the position that Illidan was at there, he was just trying to reflect damage with return. He didn't even want to hit the tower, because it gets him too out of position. Bloodlusting in the tower is actually bad. And so weird.
That's funny. What a crazy pick. This is like Wings, I'd understand. I think Wings actually picked Centaur in TI, I believe. Man, Pipe also is just such a great decision. I mean,
it's really good.
We argued about him getting it earlier, but like imagine if he had an Aegis here. Like, it's impossible for them really to go for a fight if he has Aegis, I think. Instead, they're going to go for always want to fly. And they have great initiation. Is it up? Yes, it is. He's down for 60. With no buyback. Yapster might fall. Meanwhile, on the other side, they get the Omni side, so they get the gem down as well. Get the Yules up onto the Juggernaut right now. RMN is about to get brought down. Great fire blast comes in to stop that stomp, but here comes the Invoker. Still a Burster comes out. It's going to be theirs, but a Quakefoe walks in. No, he actually jukes it and stays alive. Meanwhile, they will take down the Invoker, and the last one alive, not shockingly, it's Illidan, who will get brought down by something. They'll stun him to death and finally nuke him with Dagon level 4. No, 5, excuse me, check that. Dagon 5. It is a team wipe for Fantastic.Five, and Escape lose literally nothing, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that the cheese has failed now. Centaur is not useful anymore. Like, yes, he can do cheesy siege, but they needed to get that Rax at 20 minutes, and that needed to transition into a gold advantage. They'll let them take a second Rax when things got harder in the mid game. But Escape's playing this just so well. They're playing safe. They're not giving F5 initiation opportunities, and eventually they get to go on the back line of F5 and want to fight.
This is the last one to Arrow, though, nicely done. He's been brought back. The stomp will come out as well, but he'll be able to blade through out of it as the Firefly stops him from sleeping. It's going to be quite for finding himself another couple of kills. Well, and with no buyback for the center for 22, and with, of course, the Bane down, and maybe another kill as always one of like, it's forced forward by Kezu. That was impressive. They should find this Rax, not to mention the extra gem going their way. Sunstrike will come out and do some damage to Qualifier, but not nearly enough to bring him down. And yeah, as you mentioned, not only is the cheese over, this game pretty soon. At the very least, they're probably gonna have to take one more fight. And with Illidan, he actually does avoid the arrow. Pretty good tornado. Definitely Blast gonna be on. EMP's gonna be on top of it as well. Just not nearly enough damage though. And Illidan with his Crimson Guard, not enough damage. He's lost all of his mana, however, and Era is actually getting owned by that double edge. And while on the other side, Quakefa as well as Cinder and Ice Walden, perhaps dead. Oh, a great Pro Strike and Arm, and again stopping that stomp. It's the biggest thing. The Impale comes through. They want Armament. They're about to fight him, and Dagon zaps him down. And Era will take the meatball, but he'll Blade Fury out of it immediately. Sunstrike coming in. He's just missing these barely. BZC's just a little off point. If he was a little bit closer, these Sunstrikes would be getting kills left and right. Tornado, that one's off the mark this time as well. And Escape will be able to their namesake away from that last engagement.
I'm really liking the Diffusal Blade right now, actually. One of the nice ways that they can deal with Centaur is just draining his mana so that he can't actually use Hoof Stomp anymore. Kind of a stun and an AoE is so valuable. Like, all their items have really transitioned well, actually. The scary part is still Elder Titan, and on paper, F5's lineup makes so much perfect sense, but I think what they've actually really been needing is something like Blink on Bane this game. Unfortunately for him, he's the less farmed of the two supports, but if they would have had him to do like follow-up nightmares to save whoever gets initiated on F5, then it would have maybe reduced some of the weakness of their backline that's been allowing Escape to actually get advantage in team fights in this game.
I disagree, but again, the Bane not having much farm to begin with, it would have been hard for him to find any real farm in the map.
But maybe instead of getting like a hood on Elder Titan, it's like a Glimmer Cape or something instead.
True.
Yeah.
That could help. Guys, you got the illusion. Good work, everybody.
They got another pipe actually. So they have a pipe on Elder Titan and they have one on Centaur. Actually, I don't think it's even bad.
Stack, right? It's like not like mech. It's a bit different.
The aura doesn't. Or maybe it does. I can't remember if the aura does. But the barrier doesn't. But you can cast them right after another. There's no
right. That's what I mean.
Anymore.
That's what I meant. You can't cast two mechs right one after the other. But in this game, you can cast two barriers coming out from the Pipe of Insight. So that's perhaps the reason they bought them. I mean, they need something. Yeah, Destroy's been down again. The last one will come out, but do they have the damage? The Burrow Strike will come through. Epicenter not there yet. They've got the Feed Scoop up, but they've already used the Ethereal Blade, but it's still enough to bring down the Bat Rider. Deafening Blast, and there's the Omni Slash now. Jump into the creep, but back, and they have the Crimson Guard up. The Stomp coming through, and Yol very close to Death Hill Nightmare himself. The Blade Fury will come out. That should bring him down. Although he's actually able to brain staff and stay alive somehow, but only for a moment longer. On the other side, here comes, Quake for looking for more. The Stomp's coming out, hitting onto two, but there's the Ethereal Blade. The shotgun down with a Dagon, and it's going to be next on to BZZ. Instead, they'll turn their attention to, well, Illidan, who will go down. The Sunstrike now on the mark. The Spike Carrier's pit. I mean, like, it's taking literally forever. Quakefa will come back in. They actually get a badge coming out from the MKB. And now it is all 5 dead, and Quakefa finds himself a triple kill.
It was such a good fight for F5 there, but they just did get worked down slowly and slowly and slowly. Especially the Centaur again, mana completely drained, not able to cast stuns repeatedly. He needs that damage output and that disable. It's so important.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest issue, right? Like, sure, you can cast Double Edge as much as you want. You might not even have enough mana to cast Stampede half the time if you can jump on with an Omni Slash and Diffusal Blade.
Like, this fight is all about longevity. Like, F5 can survive team fights with their pipes, but it's actually become an issue. It's not about piping your team against, like, Epicenters. Epicenter hasn't been relevant in one fight this whole game. What's actually been relevant is the duration of the team fight and the people getting initiated on in the backline. Because every fight has just been mana drain Centaur, fight and kill the rest of the team, and keep casting spells, basically.
He just
more
bought back.
Combos.
The Dire Courier does die, by the way. Illidan, he might still be able to survive here. Manta Style comes out. That might be enough. Sunstrike, it's the Zap that brings him down. That's a dieback, by the way. And we'll always want to fly here, looking for the last two catches to be the target. But, well, they all left. And always want to fly is alone. Not only is he alone, he's dead. In the dirt with the rest of his team. His Arman will fall next as well. And Escape was looking pretty bad at the beginning of this game, but now it's turned up. Everything's coming up Millhouse now for Escape Gaming as they'll push forward into the mid-tier 3 tower and probably secure this game.
Is that a rap reference there, turned up?
No. Everyone, that's a Simpsons reference.
Is it though?
It is.
Everything's
coming up Millhouse.
You ever gotten turned up before, Mon?
Yeah, but I didn't say turned up though. I said
you said they turned up for the game or something.
Okay,
no, I'm pretty sure you
whatever.
did.
Fine. It's a rap
I'm sure it was about rap.
I definitely did it on purpose, guys.
This is clearly the rap reference cast. We have nailed the best rap memes here. Well, you guys watch Moonduck TV, I'm sure.